And there's a reason that when I began calling out Nigeria for this mass murder of Christians, you had Nigerian politicians across the spectrum in Nigeria trying to argue against it because they are very, very afraid of the United States using our leverage to force them to change.
If you want to know why US is world power, watch this video. If you want to know how they get to know, the hideout of all these terrorists, Boko Haram and the rest, how they're going to clear them off, watch this video. But before then, I want us to watch a 1 minute clip of Senator Ted Cruz. Now, he unveiled in this short clip what Nigeria political officials, almost all of them put together, has been doing behind closed doors. Because they know the bill he's sponsoring now is coming for them, coming for Nigeria officials specifically. Watch this video. In case today is your first time coming across my video, I want to say big thank you to you for stopping by. This is Holy Ghost on platform, a platform that tells you undiluted truth. Do not skip any part of this video, I beg you. Watch it to the end, because every part of it, they are loaded with informations that your politicians don't want you to hear.
And Senator Cruz last month introduced a bill in the Senate called the Nigeria Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025.
My bill does several things. One of the things it would do is direct the State Department to do what President Trump just did, which is designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. But beyond that, the bill also goes specifically to direct the State Department to impose sanctions on the provincial officials that are complicit in these atrocities. That has not yet been carried out. I'm hopeful the Trump administration will do so. But it's part of the way you leverage change is that you impose. The United States has enormous leverage, both diplomatic leverage and economic leverage. And there's a reason that when I began calling out Nigeria for this mass murder of Christians, you had Nigerian politicians across the spectrum in Nigeria trying to argue against it because they are very, very afraid of the United States using our leverage to force them to change.
Through strategy, support, or even military force, all in the video ahead. Nigeria is divided roughly between Muslims and Christians, primarily along regional lines. The northern part of Nigeria is predominantly Muslim, with approximately 50 to 55% of the population adhering mostly to Sunni Islam, while the southern and southeastern regions are majority Christian, comprising about 45% to 35% of the population. Boko Haram, an Islamist militant group, is primarily based in northeastern Nigeria, specifically in Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa states. This group adhered to ISIS strategy and will eliminate everyone, whether Muslims or Christian, that does not follow their rule of law. Sadly, most of the victims are their fellow Muslims brothers too. Let's look at their bases. Boko Haram's strongholds are mainly found in northeastern Nigeria and the surrounding Lake Chad region, which stretches across the borders of Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon. Among the most significant strongholds is the Sambisa forest in Nigeria. This vast remote forest has historically served as Boko Haram's primary headquarters and training ground, providing a concealed base for planning attacks and sheltering fighters. Another critical area is the Lake Chad Islands. These swampy, difficult-to-access islands offer natural cover, making them ideal hideouts for militants. They function as logistics hubs and supply depots, allowing Boko Haram to move men and material across borders with relative ease. Further, the rugged terrain of the Goza Hills along the Nigeria-Cameroon border acts as a strategic fallback zone. Here, Boko Haram maintains camps and lookout posts, using the landscape to evade military operations. Finally, around the town of Bama in Borno State, Boko Haram has established logistical and command centers. This area plays an essential role in coordinating their operations and sustaining the insurgency in the region. But why is the Nigerian government unsuccessful in defeating Boko Haram? They face various problems, from lower budgets, manpower, to geography. The group operates in remote, difficult terrains like forests and swampy Lake Chad Islands, which are hard for the military to access. Nigeria's armed forces often struggle with outdated equipment, poor training, and logistical issues, limiting their effectiveness. Intelligence gathering is difficult because Boko Haram uses guerrilla tactics and small-scale attacks to avoid detection. Additionally, poverty, unemployment, and weak governance in the northeast allow Boko Haram to recruit easily, with some communities mistrusting government forces due to corruption and previous abuses. The group's cross-border operations require regional cooperation, which is often slow and complicated by sovereignty concerns. Human rights concerns and security force abuses have also eroded public trust, making it harder for the government to gain community support. Let's take a closer look at how the US would go about targeting Boko Haram. First, they'd establish naval and air dominance. A naval task force made up of aircraft carriers, destroyers, and amphibious ships would position itself in the Gulf of Guinea. From there, they provide air cover, launch precision strikes, and be ready to quickly deploy troops wherever they're needed. Next comes intelligence gathering. Using satellites, drones like the MQ-9 Reaper, and signal interception, the US would keep constant watch on Boko Haram's movements, strongholds, and communication, giving commanders real-time awareness of the battlefield. They'd also work closely with Nigeria and neighboring countries to coordinate security along borders, share intelligence, and conduct joint operations that make it harder for Boko Haram fighters to slip across borders. The weaponry? Cruise missiles like Tomahawks would launch from naval destroyers and submarines to take out key Boko Haram bases and supply depots. At the same time, stealth fighters like the F-35 would carry out airstrikes on command centers, minimizing collateral damage. Special forces would roll out in coordination with Nigerian and regional troops to conduct precision raids, capture or eliminate Boko Haram's leadership, and help train local forces to better fight the insurgency. Finally, disrupting Boko Haram's logistics, especially in challenging terrains like the Lake Chad Islands and Sambisa Forest, would be vital. Cutting off their supply lines and making movement difficult would severely weaken the group. Together, this multi-layered approach combines America's advanced military capabilities with regional partnerships to systematically break down Boko Haram's strength, reduce their recruitment, and help restore stability in the region. For the US to completely dismantle Boko Haram, they would need Marines and boots on the ground. The strategy involves deploying a ship capable of carrying Marines, tanks, and armored vehicles close to the shore using these hovercraft. These hovercraft traverse water, beaches, and difficult terrain, delivering troops where traditional landing craft or aircraft can't go. Marines then secure beachheads and push inland to clear urban areas and complex battlefields, missions impossible without boots on the ground. The strength of amphibious forces lies in their seamless integration of ground troops, tanks, helicopters, and F-35 fighters, working together to suppress enemy resistance and maintain momentum. Hovercraft add tactical flexibility by bypassing coastal barriers and carrying heavy vehicles air transport can't handle, allowing forces to strike where the enemy least expects. Once ashore, amphibious forces conduct sustained operations backed by naval gunfire and air support, stabilizing captured areas and protecting civilians. Their operations follow a disciplined rhythm: planning, embarkation, rehearsal, movement, and swift action, transforming sea power into lasting ground control. While aircraft carriers dominate the skies, amphibious warships bridge the gap from sea to land, turning devastating airstrikes into actual control and enduring influence. Only with this combined capability can true victory and peace be achieved. With the brute force multiplier of these hovercraft, let's take a look at how they change the tide of the battlefield. U.S. Navy hovercraft, specifically the landing craft Air Cushion and its upgraded counterpart, the Ship-to-Shore Connector, revolutionize amphibious warfare with their speed and versatility. These hovercraft can travel at speeds over 40 knots, about 46 miles per hour, far quicker than traditional landing craft, drastically reducing transit time from warship to shore. Their unique air cushion design allows them to glide seamlessly over water, beaches, marshes, ice, and difficult terrain, places where conventional boats cannot operate. This ability opens access to roughly 70 to 80% of the world's shorelines, vastly expanding potential landing zones beyond the limited 17% reachable by older landing craft. Hovercraft can carry a 60 to 75-ton payload, enough for one M1 Abrams tank or multiple armored vehicles and several dozen troops, making them invaluable for rapid deployment of heavy forces ashore. Their capability to bypass natural obstacles like reefs, mines, and mudflats ensures that forces land where enemy defenses are weakest or least expected, enhancing tactical surprise. Thanks to this speed and terrain flexibility, hovercraft enable amphibious forces to launch fast, over-the-horizon assaults, sometimes deploying from 20 to 50 miles or more offshore, significantly increasing ship survivability by operating beyond enemy missile ranges. Operations using hovercraft changed the battlefield by allowing swift buildup and sustainment of combat power ashore, combined with naval gunfire and air support, maintaining momentum and overwhelming the enemy before defenses can react. In the age of drone warfare, a giant ship like the Wasp class, a floating airport, faces new vulnerabilities. Even a simple $20,000 Iranian drone has the potential to wreak havoc on its platform. To resist such threats, these ships are armed with multiple defensive layers designed to counter attacks from every angle. At the bow and stern, the RIM 116 rolling airframe missile launchers rise above the starboard side superstructure, offering clear lines of sight and rapid interception capability against incoming missiles. Midway along the ship, on both port and starboard sides, the RIM 7 Sea Sparrow missile launchers work in tandem with their fire control radars to provide broad coverage against aircraft and missile threats. Failing systems protect the superstructure and are found forward and aft of the ship. Some Wasp-class ships feature a third amidships, ensuring that defensive fire overlaps and every sector remains covered. Mark 38 machine guns sit at the edges and corners of the hull, their elevated open deck mounts giving them a wide field of fire to engage fast boats or drones approaching from any direction. Closest to the weather deck, 50 caliber M2 Browning machine guns are distributed at the bow and amidships on both sides. These are placed so operators can quickly respond to low, close-in threats approaching the waterline, filling the final gap in the ship's comprehensive defensive envelope. If the preceding method proves ineffective against small targets, another close-in weapon system, the CRAM, comes into play. The CRAM integrates the radar and electro-optical system of the Fallings, but this bad boy alone packs an 11-cell RAM launcher that can be reloaded, thus creating an autonomous system that can engage threats without relying on external information. Within the CRAM is the RIM 116 rolling airframe missile equipped with an infrared homing device. This small, lightweight infrared homing surface-to-air missile is specifically designed for engaging subsonic missile, such as the Soviet-era P-15 re-engineered by Iran.
People denying that, there was no Christian, there has been no genocide on Christians. If we want to begin primarily, my brother, where is Leah Sharibu since 2018? Of 113 captives. Like that. She was singled out because they wanted her to deny her faith. They refused to release her till date. What happened to Deborah in Sokoto College of Education, who thanked God online for enabling her to finish her exam as any Christian would have done? They stoned her to death in this same country. And even lawyers were trooped out to say we will break out from MBA if we will not allow us to defend the people who stoned her to death. No one is in detention. Nobody has been prosecuted. What happened?
Wow.
It was this same Reno of mockery who found out when there was a Reno of mockery. He was the one who found out.
Join me in that very critical conversation today. I have the former managing director of the Guardian newspaper, who is currently a columnist, Mr. Martin Soloja. Brother Martin, how do you read, the way people are talking about Mr. Trump's intervention? What's your own reading of it? And what do you think ought to be the right perspective?
I am worried as a journalist that in this time and age, when the social media has democratized access to information, that people are using the same media to deny reality. And people are exaggerating what the President of the United States has promised to do. He only promised to help us deal with terrorists who have been dealing with Christians in this place. He didn't say in any tweet anywhere that he was coming to invade Nigeria for anything.
I don't think so.
But the people are now using the media to say, he's interested in our oil. It's an economic issue. Why did he want to do it? They did this one in Libya. They did this in Iraq. They did this in, why is he interested? And he has failed. And they are using the same media to get even some people who have become crisis merchants in Nigeria to be using misinformation and disinformation. And they are making us to believe that we do not like the president, that they are targeting the president. No. This problem began long before even 2009 when Boko Haram manifested itself.
True.
It began before that, but since that way, it has become an international dimension. So many things have happened that people are now denying. And people denying that, oh, there was no Christian, there has been no genocide on Christians. If we want to begin primarily, my brother, where is Leah Sharibu since 2018? Of 113 captives. Like that. She was singled out because they wanted her to deny her faith. They refused to release her till date. You attended so many media security meetings, even under Buhari, where I asked this question more than 5 times. Where is there? They have been promising. They left her because she's a Christian. We heard that she's given birth. Her father is still in the police force.
Wow.
It was this same Reno Omokri who found out when there was a Reno Omokri. He was the one who found out about the identity of her father, that is actually from Adamawa State, a Christian from Adamawa State, serving in Yobe State. And the mother was there, who had been, the President Buhari promised, the mother promised everybody that she will be released. It's still not released. Nobody knows her whereabouts. What happened to Deborah in Sokoto College of Education, who thanked God online for enabling her to finish her exam as any Christian would have done? They stoned her to death in this same country. And even lawyers were trooped out to say we will break out from MBA if we will not allow us to defend the people who stoned her to death. No one is in detention. Nobody has been prosecuted. What happened? So many things have happened like that. Why are there so many people? Would we want to deny that we do not have IDP camps? There are so many of them in this Abuja. So many of them in the places, 2 states that they have targeted, Benue and Plateau, Christian dominated. You know the place of Jos as the capital of Plateau State, even in Christendom here. You know that Benue State too is Christian dominated. Why do terrorists target Christians in that place? Why do they allow, what happened to all those people in IDP camps who occupied their natural habitat, the place God the Almighty gave them to live? Why can't they return? Who are the people occupying those places? So this thing is so complex, but as a journalist, we are not allowed to do contextual reporting of all these things, to bring out facts of those people, the villages they have destroyed, people they have killed. There are videos of pregnant women they have killed.
They shattered the pregnancy.
And all those things. They say nothing happened here. So these are issues. I think it's not about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He inherited all this problem. He began in earnest in 2009 when Boko Haram story became international. But since that time, a lot of things have happened. Then our armed forces, we know their capacity. But to look at the budget of this 6.5 trillion, even in this year's budget, suddenly a defense budget takes the lion's share of our budget at a time.
Over 12%.
Yes, over 12%. That we need this one for critical infrastructure. There's somebody somewhere, president of the United States of Republican Party, and you know their principles. They are conservative people. They were the people who influenced even the writing of their constitution, and the constitution they put in God we trust. So they don't deny it. That is what they defend wherever Christians are traumatized and molested anywhere in the world. And he has said this one, no, this one we have had. You know, you recall that even in 2018, or thereabouts, even it was President Buhari himself who revealed in a private meeting he had with President in his first term.
That was the first time, yes.
First term. That we heard that they are slaughtering Christians in your country. He said, no, sir. It was President Buhari himself who revealed it. It didn't start yesterday. Why are they denying this thing and saying that we should not take out terrorists in this place, that we should negotiate with them? Where in the world will you bring terrorists that you say you are looking for to be negotiating with them, to hold meeting, and they are gone? Who approved the guns they carried to meeting in Kasina for them? This is our country. It's not about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has tried all that he can do to end this thing. We have seen Revelation where people were talking about how the then president, Goodluck Jonathan, brought in machinery and he was trying to finish the job.
Yeah.
And they stopped him because they didn't want crisis merchants in this country, and people who do not love this country are denying reality.
Okay, so Mr. Oloja, we also have inside information, although we won't mention names, that there are people in the Nigerian military who want to finish the terrorists, and that they were restrained by political appointees in this government. It's been reported, for instance, that there was a time they almost got Bello Turji within their range, but they were altered, and several other instances like that. What that tells me is that it's either there is no courage or sufficient courage inside government, or there is collusion. How can the president solve that situation? Because we can't have two sets of standard.
So we are saying in the media, we are saying through this medium that Mr. President should summon up courage, to have the political will to discern this fact that there are some people who do not want these crises to end. I call them, what others have called them, crisis merchants. I do not believe that we do not have capacity in the military to crush this. We have had this thing you are saying, that a particular security chief insisted that these people must be crushed, and that there's another superior person who is trying to protect a territory and a race. Because the person will not like this thing to end, and then Mr. President, who is a politician who also will face re-election, he is trying to buy into it, and they have removed a particular security chief that we have had. This is Nigeria. This is about our country. Because that person is insisting that these people must be crushed. And now another person is saying, no, let us negotiate with them. They listen to Sheikh Gumi, who is saying that we should be negotiating with them, who is always sitting down with them.
This is the same Sheikh Gumi who went to Saudi Arabia. And they said that the man is a security threat.
And then
they didn't allow him to come and do his pilgrimage. They sent him back home.
They sent him back home. And it is only in Nigeria that kind of person will be given media space to be repeating the fact that these terrorists are not bad people, that we need to negotiate with them. And then they will invite them into a meeting with their guns. And then the security people will be guarding them. And they will enter their buses, and they will drive away like that. And the following day, they will gather before Mr. President to say, this is what we are doing. Mr. President will tell them to crush them, do away with them. But they have been holding meetings with them because of the advice of a particular security chief. It's about our country. It's not about anybody. What we are saying is that they should not give us the narrative that this thing does not exist. Let us straighten the matter. We do not want President Trump to come and invade this place. What we are saying is that Mr. President should do the right thing by getting security people to crush these people. People who are protecting them are enemies of the state, are the enemies of Nigeria. People who are advising that Mr. President should be negotiating with these terrorists. Trump is saying that, look, enough is enough of crushing Christians like that with impunity. In a particular December, they burned St. Teresa Church in Abuja here, at the border here. They have burned so many churches in a war. They went there. Are there Christians that went to a war to invade the church and killed so many people? And so many churches like that where they have destroyed even all these assets, even and human beings in Benue, in Plateau, in so many other places in Nigeria like that. It is not about saying, oh, they have killed Christians, they have killed Muslims. It is collateral damage. Where you heard that they have killed the Muslims. It is those Muslims who didn't believe in the fundamental objective of terrorists. They killed them. And we are now saying that, oh, no. We are saying, look, we know that we have a responsibility to defend our country. We have a responsibility to stand by the government of our country. But enough should be enough. If we have an authority that is higher, that is saying we are coming to help you, let me ask a question. Who is afraid of this help from donating?